Why so serious?
Hey, it's the Traveler and Paimon.
Hello, you two. It's been a long time.
Were you having a really serious discussion right now or something?
Just a regular catch-up. We meet here once in a while to go through any recent developments in our research projects.
So we just missed him. Maybe we should have hollered to him. He didn't look in the best of moods just now, though. Was he upset about something? If so, he probably wouldn't have been in the mood to help out anyway.
Upset? You mean Albedo?
Yeah, he wasn't looking his usual self.
Upset. Uh-oh. I wonder if...
What are you looking at me for?
I wonder if Timaeus' research topic is so boring that Albedo finally snapped.
Yo, that's it.
Surely not. It's not that boring, is it?
Nah. Anyway, Paimon wanted to ask you for a favor, Timaeus.
A favor? Well, sure. How can I help?
Well, Paimon found a bunch of super-duper sweet Sincerias in the mountains the other day. But if Paimon eats them all, then they'll all be gone, so Paimon isn't ready to finish them all yet. Paimon was thinking maybe you could make a device that you put fruits in and it turns them into juice.
A
That way,
fucking
they'll
blender?
be preserved for as long as Paimon needs.
Wait, turns them into juice. But how does that preserve them? The juice can go bad. Paimon... Oh, God.
Oh, yeah, I'm afraid that sort of thing is a little...
Dumb. Big dumb.
Seems pretty straightforward to Paimon. Can't you do it?
Paimon, I'm afraid you've entered into the realm of the weird and wonderful with this one.
Okay. So how about you, Sucrose? Any idea?
I'm sorry. It doesn't sound like it falls within my area of expertise. I could give it a try if you really want, but I'd probably just end up giving all your precious fruits arms and legs.
Whoa, your tone is
Damn.
so calm, but your words are so terrifying.
For real.
Oh, you'd think I'd be used to this by now.
Well, as you know, my focus is on bioalchemy. Besides, keeping things fresh forever is just not possible. If you just wanted to modify certain properties of the fruit or their seeds, on the other hand, I'd easily be able to help with that. Alchemists usually focus in on their own research areas. Take us, for example. Timaeus, Albedo, and I all have very different research foci. Paimon,
Foci?
your idea is
That's an
very
interesting
imaginative,
word.
but it's beyond Timaeus' and my ability. I don't think even Albedo can make such an incredible device. After all, alchemy is not mechanics. There is a big difference between the two.
Huh? Well, excuse Paimon for overestimating the power of alchemy.
In fact, before Albedo showed up, everyone in Mondstadt thought alchemy was useless.
Oh, really?
Of course, we know better now. But even then, I have to admit, alchemy is only one of the many wondrous arts in the world. It's certainly not some kind of all-powerful magic that can simply take a substance and preserve it indefinitely. Sorry. That wasn't meant as a criticism against you personally.
Paimon just wanted some fruit juice. What's wrong
Make a
with that?
fucking blender. That's all you have to
Of course,
do.
these are just Timaeus'
Or
and my
like fucking
subjective
smash it
opinions on
up.
the matter.
Squeeze the bitch if you have
If
to.
you're really intent on pursuing this wondrous device, you could
Come
try your
on,
luck asking
man.
Albedo. But I wouldn't get your hopes up. If he has no idea how to make one either, you'll have to give up on the idea.
He doesn't seem to be in a good mood today, though. What if he ignores us?
Too bad. Ask anyways.
He won't.
Stop being a little
Albedo is
bitch.
not that kind of
Stop being
person.
scared. There is something going on.
Hey, so where is Albedo heading to anyway? Dragonspine?
The only other place
Unless he
can go?
specifically says otherwise, Dragonspine is where he usually goes.
That's where he always
He
goes.
seems particularly fond of that place.
It's like it's the only
And
other place for him to
somehow,
go, other than
the
Mondstadt,
cold
because none of
doesn't
the
seem to
other
bother
nations
him
are
at
open yet, because we haven't gotten that
Then
far in the
let's
fucking
go to
game.
Dragonspine
Update your
to find
fucking
him.
game.
Come on, there's no time to lose.
Nah, it's okay. We'll get there eventually. About 10 years from now. Oh, actually, never mind. Nobody else will be able to play this 10 years from now because it's a fucking event, which means it'll fucking go away. God, I hate that. Fuck, why? Why is that a thing?
La, 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 la.
Why they gotta make a
Let the
thing to
show
where like
begin.
events can still be playable at like create a new account 10 years from now. I should still be able to play the fucking meteor event that went on like a year ago or something.
Guess I'll host an expedition at the
Events,
Adventurers
bro,
Guild.
they're fun, but any player
Today's
that wants to play this game later on or something, missing out. It's terrible. All right, ran over. Let's do this.
This looks lively. What's the occasion? Let's go and have a look.
Hey, Traveler and
Oh,
Paimon. Fancy
shit.
meeting you all the way out here.
It's Bestie Amber.
Amber?
Hell
Cyrus?
yeah.
Pallet? What's everyone
Oh,
doing at Dragonspine?
no, not Pallet
Don't you mind the
again.
cold?
Why is...
Oh, the Traveler is joining us too. Oh, great! Fantastic! Wonderful! The more the merrier.
I agree. I feel much better with the Traveler joining us. Definitely the kind of person you want to have around in a tight spot.
Reckless Pallid, get the fuck out of here. The last time we had to deal with you and Dragonspine, you almost got Sucrose killed. You better be able to make up for it, that's all I have to say. Or not fucking cause any problems.
Oh, right! Paimon remembers most of these people are from the Adventurers Guild. Then again, it seems a certain outrider is joined too.
The only Outrider.
Allow me to explain. The Adventurers Guild is holding winter training on Dragonspine.
Why is
As you know, our members have varying levels
Is
of
Eula
adventure
gonna be training
experience.
us?
Dragonspine is an excellent place
We
for
trained in
budding adventurers to
Dragonspine
challenge
to
themselves
fucking learn
and
how to
improve.
be elegant and
But
shit
it's
in a story
dangerous to go
quest.
alone. So,
Oh,
we made a
this
plan
kinda
for
hurts,
senior
not gonna
members
lie.
to pair up with junior members. This way, everyone can experience training on Dragonspine together under safe and controlled circumstances.
Dragonspine
Now,
safe? Yeah,
every
okay.
adventurer can progress together. I've been working on this grand plan for half a year now, and
Yeah,
it's
it's
finally coming
I'm not
together.
no, we're not gonna get into it. Never mind.
It's a great plan, isn't it? Hey,
Yeah, it's just beautiful,
you
Cyrus.
are an
Just
outstanding
beautiful.
adventurer. Surely you must be willing to join us and help out.
I see what they did there. I gotta read the question right with Amber's ass in the background. Nice. Let's go.
Is the Adventurers Guild short on experienced members?
Well, that's part of it, actually. The other reason is, when I was patrolling the perimeter of
I think we're gonna
Dragonspine,
Triple
I
Crown
found
Amber.
a lost
I
kid
think we're
named
gonna do
Joel.
it.
I heard he lives
Amber's
here
a
on the
homie.
camp, so I escorted him back.
Yeah, for real. What happened to Joel's father? I mean, we did the side quest and everything. We're pretty sure he's dead, but like... So... Did they take the kid out of the game? That's interesting. I'm gonna double check to see if the kid's still around, because there was a side quest where this kid was waiting for his father to come back from Dragonspine, but the father never came back. So we went in search of the father and just found notes. And it was like basically saying that his dad died. And he's just waiting for a dad that won't return. Dark as fuck. So, but Joel's father, yeah.
I know. Joel's father went missing.
Yes.
I totally sympathize with how much Joel misses his family. Dragonspine is so bleak and deserted. It must have been so lonely for him here.
Aw, Amber.
Anyway, I wanted to do something
Anyway,
to cheer Joel up. So, I said I'd build
How
a
about
snowman with him. It's
fucking
something he enjoys
search
doing.
party for his
It
dad.
also gives me a chance to stay here for a while and help Cyrus out.
No. Oh yeah, since it's for Amber, fuck Joel. For since it's for Amber, count me in. Nah, we gotta help out our
Aw,
homie Joel.
really? Thank you.
So, did I
Let's go
miss
meet up
something?
with Joel then.
Okay,
Oh,
so we
I
are the search
invited
party,
another
right?
friend of mine to join too. She should be
Okay.
here any second.
Alright, I
She'll
think
be
I was, like,
perfect for this
misinterpreting
kind
this.
of thing. Hey, Cyrus, we've got to take off. Is that okay?
Wait, Amber's
No
friend?
problem.
It's Eula.
Go ahead.
Please tell me
I
it's
still
fucking
have
Eula.
some final
Alright.
checks to make. So, I will call
And
you
Amber's
before
ass
we
is
depart.
in this. Alright. Oh, this event's getting wacky. This is getting. Alright, okay, so where's Joel at? Let's see here. She said she took him back to Mondstadt, but. It was like. Even before, he would just be kind of like chilling, like. Yeah, it's Dragonspine. This place sucks. He would be sitting like right here, but he's not. So I'm guessing he despawned or some shit because she quote unquote took him back to. Oh, never mind. I'm retarded. I'm just retarded. Never mind. He's fucking. That's all right. All right. Here we go. Here we go. I'm just an idiot. Getting too excited.
Hey, Joel,
Overthinking.
we're
All right.
here. Hi, everyone. I'm so happy right now. It's nice to have so many people to hang out with.
Yeah, we're gonna find your dad, my guy.
Are you here to build a snowman
Yes.
too?
Yes.
Build a snowman.
Let's go.
Oh, sorry. I forgot to do the introductions. This is Eula, the Spindrift Knight and captain of the Knights of Favonius Reconnaissance Company.
Amber,
Fucking
you're being far
queen.
too formal. The child is never going to remember all that. Please, just call me Eula.
Okay, Auntie Eula.
Auntie,
You can call me
what?
Joel.
Auntie Eula?
Uh-oh. Eula's gonna add that to her long list of scores to settle.
All right, if that's what you want to call me, go right ahead.
No, she's not gonna. Wow.
Eula just let something go for once?
Oh shit.
Amber, what's this I hear about a snowman? I came to assist because you told me the Adventurers Guild was short-handed.
Yeah, that's something else. But look, Joel's at the age where he should be having fun, and there's nothing to play with on Dragonspine. He used to build snowmen with his dad, and since his dad's not around, we're keeping him company instead.
Wait, we're not gonna try and
Besides,
find
Eula,
his dad. We're
it's
just
gonna
here
be
to
more fun
fucking
than
play
taking
with the
an
kid.
ice bath all by yourself. Let's combine our forces and build ourselves a huge snowman. It'll be a
Let's
ton
find
of
the
fun.
kid's father. What the fuck do you mean build a snowman?
Yep. Count Paimon in too. Paimon wants to build a snowman.
What? No.
Auntie Eula, are you too busy to join in? If so, it's okay. I understand.
No, nothing like that. My mind was on something else, that's all. Building a snowman with Joel, are we?
No, we're finding
Sounds
his
wonderful.
dad.
I'd be delighted to join you.
What is this?
Then let's get started. First, we need to split up into teams to gather some supplies.
Why are we having an event
Joel
about
and I will be
building
on one
snowmen?
team. You and Eula can be on the other team. Hey, Joel, see that huge tree over there? Want to race me there?
No.
Let's do it!
Wow. Those two are fast.
This is dumb.
It's hard to tell which of them is having more fun.
It's hard to tell where his dad's at, but I guess we don't give a shit
You
about that.
two, why are you just staring at each other without saying anything?
Eula looking kind of hot, not gonna lie.
Well,
Oh, there's no one else around. You can say whatever you want to
Joel
me.
probably hasn't spent much of his life in the city. He doesn't know me, and he doesn't know what the Lawrence name means to the people in Mondstadt.
Get over yourself.
Right. That's why he calls you Auntie Eula.
Careful, Paimon.
True. In his eyes, I'm just another ordinary person from Mondstadt. It was a surprise, but not in a bad way at all.
Okay, yeah, forget the first one, because we don't want to build a fucking
How very
snowman.
perceptive of you. Were you staring at me the whole time when everyone was
Yes.
talking?
Of course!
You shan't be getting off lightly for that. The truth is, I'm a little concerned that I might be quite inept at building snowmen.
That's what...
I have never built a snowman before. My upbringing was very
this
strict,
kind of hurts.
so I never had the chance when I was a
I
child.
thought we were about to get
And after I
answers to
grew
the
up,
side
of
quests
course,
that just kind of
It's not the
left
sort of thing
in
I would
darkness,
spend my time
but
doing.
Oh no. Paimon's starting to feel sorry for Eula.
I don't like any of these choices. I guess the
You
first
sound
one.
confident. All right then. Enough small talk for now. I see we have a member of the Adventurers Guild joining us.
Greetings. We have a slight problem here. We've done a head count, and it turns out that we have an odd number of participants. In other words, we still have one instructor slot left to fill.
I guess that's where
How
I
it
come in.
happened was, we originally asked Fischl to be
What?
an instructor.
Fischl?
But she was busy with something outside of Mondstadt during this period.
Oh no, we
So
could have.
we found another adventurer to fill
Why
in
would
for
you
her,
even
but they
mention her
still
and
haven't
not
shown
have
up
her?
yet. Thank
You
goodness
didn't
are
need to tell
here.
me that. Now I'm just mad because you.
Oh, hello. My name is Gerald. I'm a new adventurer.
I don't give a shit, Gerald.
In that
Really
case,
not in the mood. Eula can help.
fine. But for that, you will pay.
What?
Huh? Pay for what?
It's alright, bro. She's just fucking
Okay.
weird.
I got it. I'm ready and willing to learn.
Good, good. Then everything is settled.
I can't imagine
Thank
having
you for your
Fischl as
help,
an
Eula.
instructor. Jesus
If
Christ.
anybody else signs up later, I may have to ask for your help as well.
We could have had Fischl in this event too. You fucking mentioned her
Why
and
did
just
you give the spot to you?
yeah.
Oh,
Smart move, honestly.
You're so nice. Paimon noticed Eula smiled just now. It must have meant a lot to her. To be honest, Eula really is the best candidate for an instructor. Most people would find it hard to cope on the mountain because of the sheer cold, but not her.
Well, she is cryo.
Now Paimon gets it. This must be the whole reason why Amber got Eula involved in the first place.
Yeah, see, big brain in this whole thing.
We were supposed to find
What can I say?
supplies,
Amber's a
but
homie.
Now Eula's busy with other
We're triple
stuff,
crowning Amber.
and,
That's for sure.
Paimon doesn't feel like going around collecting things. How do you think Amber and Joel are doing? Let's head up the mountain and see what they're up to.
How about, you know what? I'm just gonna get off of it. I'm not, no. Forget finding the kid's dad. It's all about building snowmen. Yeehaw.
Strange. Didn't they say they were going this way? Where the heck are they? Did we get here too late? Have they moved on already?
Did you hear that? Ooh,
Could they be in danger?
doubt it. Probably like
Hurry, let's
Albedo
go check
painting
it out.
some weird shit or something. It sounded a little sussy. Let me race to the rescue here.
It's coming from that direction! The sound is completely stopped! How could that happen? After all the adventures we've been on, our tracking skills are honed to perfection! Aren't they?
Aren't they?
Guess we underestimated whatever was behind it. But if that's the case, then what exactly are we dealing with here?
I know that voice.
Albedo, what are you doing, my guy?
What brings you to Dragonspine?
Oh, so it was Albedo all along!
All along. Oh, what do you mean by that?
On the way here, we kept hearing weird noises, and it felt like someone was watching us the whole time.
It was
Turns
Albedo
out
in
it was
monster
just
form.
you. Honestly, you really gave us the creeps. If you're bored up here, go find something useful to do. Don't go sneaking around scaring the poop out of people.
Scaring the poop out of people? Okay.
The things you felt and heard could easily be attributed to animals, or bandits, perhaps. You should be wary at all times in this environment. There are all too many ways to sustain losses here if you aren't careful. So, what business brought you here?
So, on that note, what you up to?
We actually came to look for you, but then it turned into looking for Amber, but now we've met you, so we're back to that again.
Your thought process is rather chaotic, as is the way in which you articulate it.
Hey! How dare you! All Paimon's trying to say is that we came here to look for you!
Oh, is that so? Then it must surely be something of great importance. I'm all ears.
He seems to be in a better mood than we thought, right? Does that mean Timaeus' stupidity doesn't really get to him after all? Huh. Okay, let's just forget that ever came up.
That's okay if you can't tell me about it. Just treat this as an opportunity to stroll on the mountain and enjoy the view.
So basically, the truth is we're here on adventurer duty.
Ah, I see. So you foisted the rookie off onto Eula so that you could wander off and goof around?
We're not goofing around! And Eula was the right person for the job! We were just being nice. What about you then, huh? What are you doing on Dragonspine?
A friend commissioned me to do some artwork recently, and I have yet to finish. I came here because it's a quiet place where I can gather my thoughts, gather inspiration.
This man is always
and
drawing.
gather some raw materials while I'm at it.
Raw materials?
Yeah, 2 birds with 1 stone.
For what?
For
Paint.
experiments.
Star silver can be used to make
Works too.
high-quality silver paint. I just ran
Star
out of my
silver can be
previous
used to
batch,
make silver.
so I'll collect
yeah.
some ore while I'm here.
Ore can be used to make paint?
Yes, but you have to be selective with the specimens you choose. Even with a high level of impurities, star silver still contains fine silver-colored particles, but they lack luster, which impacts the color saturation of the pigment made from them. Paint made with such pigment is generally viewed as a fake or a defective product.
Interesting. So, paint aside, can you talk about how you find inspiration? Paimon wants to learn.
You want to learn to paint?
No, not for me.
No.
For the traveler. Paimon wants the traveler to learn how to paint.
Why?
During our travels, we sometimes have nights where there's nothing to do. It'd sure be nice to do something memorable rather than just sit around.
I'd say if there's nothing
Painting
to
is
do,
a
that's
great
probably a
example
blessing.
because it can
Get some
capture
fucking
a moment
sleep.
in time. So it seems like it's definitely a worthwhile skill to have. Yep, why not? Once you mastered it, you can paint Paimon.
Not a bad
I don't
idea.
know about that.
Well, since you two would like to learn more about painting, why don't you come with me to the campsite? I have painting materials there. You can practice while I give you some guidance.
Sounds great! Oh, she'll be fine. She is a Knight of Favonius after all. Let's just forget about all that stuff for now and go with Albedo.
Alright, forget the first
Come on,
objective.
let's go.
This fucking
It's so cold out.
ADHD
Paimon wants to get to the camp
motherfucker.
and warm up by the
Paimon.
fire.
Can't keep one thing straight.
Thieves! It's gotta be!
Some things are missing.
Nothing valuable, hopefully. Wait, where's Paimon's Mora?
It's hard to say their value, but some of my alchemy notes are missing.
Alchemy notes? Would they fetch a high price?
To the uninitiated, they are merely scraps of paper. But for someone who knows what they're doing, the knowledge contained in those notes is more valuable than any treasure.
So you're saying only someone who knows alchemy would have stolen them? But the only people who come to Dragonspine are adventurers, thieves, and monsters.
I feel the same way. However, hilly trail break-ins and other such incidents are not unheard of on Dragonspine. It's difficult to draw a conclusion based solely on the evidence at hand. These appear to be...
Footprints?
fresh
In the
ones.
shape of every other character.
Meaning our thief
Okay.
can't have made it far.
Let's chase
After
them
him.
down. We can't let them get away.
Here, more footprints.
They're heading to the cavern. Ooh, we got you now. You
Nice.
sure can run, but you definitely can't hide. Let's go in.
Wait, I have an idea. I'll go in alone. Traveler, please stay here and guard the entrance. This cavern has 2 points of entry, and there are shortcuts inside. Judging from the state of the footprints, he hasn't been in there long. I should be able to reach the other side before he does.
Cut cut him off at both ends. Good idea.
Whoever apprehends the thief first has to notify the other party. This way we're fully covered. Still, safety comes first. We do not yet know the identity of our thief. Please take care.
We'll be fine.
Okay. See you shortly. Of course.
I wonder if Albedo found the thief. This is taking forever.
I wonder if it was just a way for Albedo to get away from us so he can
Really?
like transform into whatever monster he is or some shit.
Maybe it just feels like a long time because Paimon hates waiting. Waiting is so boring. Why don't we find something to do to pass the time? You know, something like... Oh! Look at all that star silver over there. Why don't we gather it up for Albedo? It's right next to the cavern, so we won't be going far. If anything happens outside, we can be right back here in no time. Yay! Let's get started. Alright, this should be enough. Some star silver shines a lot more brightly than others, huh? Finally, you're back.
Yes. Sorry. I was unable to catch him. He was faster than I'd imagined.
Oh.
I almost
So
don't
after
think there
all
is a
that, we
thief.
still
I
don't
feel like
even know who the
this is
thief
all just
was?
Albedo for some reason. It's
what
whatever
a
secret he's keeping
waste.
from us.
Still, we won't be going back completely empty-handed. We did some mining.
Mining?
Yeah, for star silver. Look, we got quite a lot. It's just like you said. Some are really bright and shiny, and others just look like regular lumps of rock with a little shiny bit here or there.
Star silver. I was merely saying what was on the front of my mind. I hadn't thought you would genuinely go and gather some.
Well, you said they can be turned into paint, so we got pretty curious. Also, if it weren't for that thief, we'd be making paint by now anyway, right? Or even painting by this point. Anyway, it's all the thief's fault for wasting our time.
Yes, it's all the thief's fault. The
It's
notes mean a lot to
Albedo.
me.
Just come on.
I'm not quite ready to give up the search yet. Let's keep an eye out for clues as we go.
Oh, just one thing. Do you want us to bring all this ore back, or did you want to sort through and get rid of the useless bits first? There's no point in bringing the bad ones back if it'll ruin the quality of the paint. Some of them do look pretty dull to Paimon, so it doesn't seem like those will be of any use at all.
Indeed. The sorting process is necessary. Humans are such practical creatures. They only want those things that are good. Once they have learned to distinguish between good and bad, they will never stop comparing things in their minds. Useless things should be disposed of at the outset.
Right! Saves a lot of time that way. Efficiency first. So let's start by...
Help! Help me!
Wait! Did you guys hear that? Was that a cry for help? It's likely an adventurer in danger. Okay.
Did an Albedo clone come out of that cave? Like, is that not the real Albedo? What was even in here? There's some shit. What the fuck is... What do you mean there's shortcuts? There's nothing in here. Alright, this is hella sussy. I don't know if I like this. Alright, Joel, where you at?
The voice was definitely coming from around here.
Is anybody there? Help me!
Oh my god, it's not Joel. I thought it was Joel. It's fucking Bennet.
No way! Is that?
How?
Is that
Bro.
the Traveler in Paimon? It's me, Bennet!
Whoa! It's really him! Let's get him out!
So sorry to trouble you guys again. The key should be someplace nearby. Please, help me find it.
How did you even manage to do this, my dude?
Oh, finally, I'm out. Thank you so much.
If only there hadn't been rocks mixed in with the snow on the tree, it wouldn't have made me all dizzy when it fell down onto my head. And then I would have never walked into the Fatui's trap.
Bennet? In a cage? Never saw that coming.
I won't bore you with the rest of the details. Just me being unlucky again.
We got revenge for you.
Yep,
Okay.
taking them out was child's play. No need to thank us.
You did? That's so nice of you guys. I know they were probably just following orders. But still, thanks for helping me out.
So what are you doing on Dragonspine? Didn't Razor want to come with you?
Did you hear about the Adventurers Guild thing? They're hosting a winter camp here. As one of their veteran adventurers, I'm here to help out the rookies. Razor's not an adventurer, and as the leader of Benny's adventure team, as well as the only actual member, I had to come on my own. But now I've been stuck here for so long, I probably missed it. I hope Cyrus doesn't get mad at me.
Oh! Wait, so that guy Gerald who got left in the lurch, he was supposed to be paired up with you? If so, sorry, Bennet, but you really did miss it. He got paired up with a different instructor instead.
What?
Damn, that's
Weren't
unfortunate.
they short on instructors? Where'd they suddenly get extras from?
Well, you see.
A few people from the Knights of Favonius stepped up in order to help support the event, so they ended up with more instructors than students.
Knights of Favonius. Yeah, they're definitely more reliable than me. I'm just a walking accident waiting to happen.
Damn, bro, don't be like that. If it wasn't for you, none of my teams would be where they are now.
Right.
I don't want to see you talk to
that
yourself
was
like
just
this,
the
Bennet.
situation when we last saw them. It might have changed by now. Who knows? Maybe a whole load more rookies will have turned up to join in. Besides, after all the trouble you've gone to show up as an instructor, I'm sure Cyrus will put you to work.
Really?
For sure. Hey, wait a second. Where'd Albedo go?
No, I don't think he did come with us. Pretty sure he
Albedo?
just could have stayed there.
You mean the alchemist from the Knights of Favonius? He's one of the instructors too?
No, he just happened to be on Dragonspine. We were just with him, but then we heard you calling for help. He must have left us at some point after that. Could he have gone back to keep looking for clues? Let's go back to the cavern and see if he's there. Still no sign of Albedo. This is weird. Where has he run off to?
This is great! Dragonspine's so fun today! There's so many people around. It's never
Dude, you
usually
almost
like
got
this.
Okay.
This
I wouldn't
was where
exactly
we
call
heard
this
Bennett's
fun.
cry for help, right? We heard his voice and went straight over to rescue him. Then we noticed Albedo was gone. Huh. So he just didn't feel like helping us save Bennet?
Wait, what?
What are you talking about?
Oh, Albedo! Where the heck have you been? We've been looking for you!
I should be the one to ask you that. Didn't I tell you to stay at the cavern
Okay,
entrance?
so there's a clone that came out. All right.
I'm not really following
So we're gonna
who
stop-
was
we're gonna
waiting
stop
for
this
who
conversation
and
real
who
quick.
was looking for
All right.
who, but
So Albedo went in the cave.
first
We were
things
told to stay in
first.
guard. The person we thought was quote Albedo end quote came out, and then he did his whole emo like, "Oh, humans suck," and then he left. This is the real Albedo.
I apologize, Albedo. I don't fully understand what's going on, but it seems like it's mostly my fault.
No. Bennet, this is not because of you. You needn't blame yourself. Traveler, clear this up for me. What was the reason that you left the cavern entrance? Did you...
There you are. Stay
Eula's
right there.
ass right.
You have
nice,
a lot of explaining
nice.
to do.
What? Me?
Huh? Eula? Aren't you supposed to be helping the new guy?
Yes, that's what I would be doing, if I hadn't been interrupted by a certain someone's malicious scheming. Albedo, I saw you taking Jewel towards the wasteland at the edge of Dragonspine. That place is crawling with monsters. What the devil do you think you were doing?
Oh, so yes, there's a clone Albedo. Evil Albedo. Let's go kick his fucking ass.
Whoa, wait a second. What's going on? Actually, wrong question. How much stuff is going on?
Shit, this is getting
When
heated.
I came to stop you from leading Joel any further, your first reaction was to throw the child down and attack me. When I fought back, you quickly fled. Care to explain?
I see. Interesting.
Interesting.
Eula, it sounds like you met an imposter. Someone who was impersonating me.
Impersonating you? To what end?
It is difficult to draw a definitive conclusion for now. But these strange incidents do seem to be connected.
Your alchemy notes were stolen. Can the Traveler and Paimon testify that the three of you were together up until you entered the cavern?
Yes, we can confirm that.
As things stand, I don't have any reason to harm the child. Whoever you met is likely to be both the thief who stole my notes, and also an imposter. Of course, it's entirely natural for you to be skeptical of my story. I was separated from the Traveler and Paimon for a significant duration while we were pursuing the thief. My word alone cannot serve as a definitive account of my actions and whereabouts during that period. But the Traveler and Paimon can at least testify that I was not the individual who tore up the campsite or stole my notes.
Albedo, do you have any enemies? Could it be one of your enemies impersonating you to get revenge on you or something?
I don't have any enemies. And I'm not aware of having given anyone cause to exact vengeance upon me. There is insufficient evidence to assert what happened with any certainty at this point. Given how serious the situation is, I intend to investigate it myself, even if you decide not to pursue it any further. Eula, I won't discourage your ongoing suspicion of me if you can't believe my story. Though, naturally, I would hope you can afford me some credibility on account of our solidarity as fellow members of the Knights of Favonius. Traveler, Paimon, Bennet, if you are willing, I welcome you to monitor my activities beyond this point so that you can act as my witnesses. If I am what this imposter wants, he will come looking for me again eventually. Things can only become clearer from that point on.
The last
I'll
thing
give
we
you the
need
benefit of the doubt.
is
As
for these two
preposterous as your claims sound.
Fuck, not these two Bennets.
And I will choose to
for
believe
these
that
two
an imposter
Albedos
went after Joel, and not
to
you.
get mixed up, and then we have to choose which one to kill. Wouldn't that be some wild shit? I don't want them pulling that crap on us.
I will keep Joel safe. If you need any support with the investigation, contact myself and Amber.
You have my gratitude.
As far as Amber goes, I will...
Eula! Eula! Where are you?
Oh, hey, it's the homie.
Amber, we're here!
Eula! Oh, and Traveler, Paimon, Albedo, and Bennet. You're all together. Great. Bennet, I'm glad I ran into you here. Cyrus was telling me you still hadn't shown up. He was getting worried you might have run into some trouble.
Yeah, I ran into a little trouble. Thanks for your concern.
Telling you, Amber's a
Sure
homie.
thing. Well, now that I found you, let's go check in with Cyrus. But before that, has something come up? How come you're all gathered here together? Need any help?
Between us, there have been a few minor incidents, but nothing I haven't already dealt with.
Oh, yeah. It's my fault, really. All because of my bad luck. But everything is fine now.
So, it's all set then? Great! Shall we head back down together? I did say I'd bring Bennet back if I saw him.
Sure, I'm ready to go.
Very well. Let's go.
And then there were 3.
Traveler, can we talk somewhere else? Let's go to my camp. My camp is somewhere that we can talk openly, without reservation. But before that...
Whoa, what a mess!
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, now we'll set everything back and then we'll be able to craft and everything.
I've been absorbed in my research lately and haven't attended to the dusting. It's due for a cleaning.
Isn't that what sucrose is for?
Yep, that should do it. Neat and tidy.
Thank you, both of you. Now that everything is in order, it's time to talk.
You look really serious right now. Is this about what happened earlier?
Probably.
I remember I once told you that you must have questions, and that I would answer them. I also said that, while I did not wish to deceive you, there were certain things I could not go into detail on. I am a synthetic human being. A human forged by human hand.
What?
The one who created me, my mother and teacher. Her name is Rhine-daughter, a researcher from Conria, also known as Gold.
Okay, this is... I genuinely might be getting into the Genshin Impact lore. It's just fucking sad, but this is very interesting. So Albedo was never a real human. He himself is a product of alchemy. And this, his creator slash mother is involved with Conria, that all-human nation that was destroyed by the gods. Okay. Holy
a
shit.
synthetic human? What the... How the heck does that work?
That's wild.
When the pinnacle of attainment in alchemy is combined with unimaginably vast learning, the apex achievement is the creation of human life.
When you say Conria...
Yes, he does.
I am indeed somewhat older than my appearance might suggest. But when I came into being, Conria had already been destroyed. I have no memories of it. My master raised me and taught me everything. Like her, I am a pure alchemist. I live for academic knowledge. Nationality and identity are not what ultimately define us. Traveler, what is your general feeling toward Dragonspine? You've visited numerous times now.
I like it here.
Would you say it's a cold, eerie, and melancholy place?
No, I'd say it's... how would I describe Dragonspine? It's just got that winter vibe to it.
Rhine-daughter created two miraculous beings. One is me.
Oh, what?
And the other is the venomous dragon, Durin, who died here.
Durin? So that makes you guys... brothers?
As sons of Rhine-daughter, Durin and I are indeed inextricably linked to one another.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch my playthrough of the first event we had in Dragonspine, where we got like the Festering Desire sword. This is
the phenomenon of our
wild.
creation defies definition within the scope of a typical human worldview. But if we may tentatively call it birth, then yes, we, by extension, are family.
Speaking of Durin, Paimon remembers that his power was quite... special.
That's right. Because of this, whenever strange things happen on Dragonspine, it always makes me wonder. For instance, the feeling of being watched that you described, as well as the sounds you heard, and the one impersonating me that Eula met.
Oh, right! Paimon knows what you mean! When Eula and the others were here just now, the Traveler gave me a look as if to say, don't say anything. Probably because it would only make you more suspicious, so Paimon kept quiet. But Paimon noticed that you came out of the cavern not too long after going in, and you told us that you didn't manage to catch the thief. Then we heard Bennet calling for help, so we went to rescue him. But strangely, you didn't come with us. And when we got back to the cavern to go find you, suddenly you were the one looking for us.
So, it seems that you met my imposter too.
Well, if so, it was a pretty good impression. He had you down to a T. We never would have guessed. Also, after he left us, why did he go after Joel?
Perhaps Duran's power drives people to madness. But that's merely crude conjecture. Whether someone is impersonating me or there is another false me out there, this is a cursed tale, and it is not one whose weight you should have to bear. Traveler, perhaps you should return to Mondstadt if you have no further business here. The work that lies ahead will occupy me completely. I'm afraid I will be unable to entertain you beyond this point.
Bro, we're helping you out with this shit. We ain't going anywhere. Damn right we'll help with the investigation.
Yeah, we're Dragonspine veterans by now. If there's something really bad going on, we can't just leave you here to deal with it on your own. That wouldn't be very nice now, would it? Besides, there's no one else in Mondstadt that you can talk to about this. Sucrose and Timaeus don't know your secret. Yeah, don't push us away at a time like this.
All right. Thank you. You were intending to participate in that winter camp, if I recall correctly. That could serve as an excellent pretext for you to remain on the mountain. In that case, please join in the activities of the Adventurers Guild as planned, and be on the lookout for any leads while you're at it. If anyone sees me, or someone like me...
We'll be sure to pass the info straight on to you.
Good. Then we're agreed.
Okay, let's split up to look for clues, then meet back here at
Alright,
this
gang,
camp
let's
in
split
a
up
few
and
days'
look for
time.
clues.
Sounds good to me. But please, whatever happens, put your safety first at all times.
Aw, Albedo's worried. Alright. Act 1 complete.
Time has come. Let's go meet up.
Oh god. Okay. What are we doing here? They're actually giving us a chance to build a fucking snowman.
Albedo, we're here.
Traveler, Paimon. Your faces say that perhaps you haven't turned up anything?
We investigated all over the mountain, actually. But we didn't see anyone that looked like you or hear of anyone else meeting you.
This is not unexpected. I haven't made much progress either. He appears to know that we are looking for him, and has opted to lie low for the time being. Still, there is one thing I found. I discovered footprints on some parts of the mountain, and although they were a little covered by the snow, I could tell they'd been left by someone of a similar size to myself. The footprints were quite numerous, so I believe my next step will be to rule out each of the adventurers active on Dragonspine, one by one.
We can help with that. We have plenty of contact with the adventurers. So now we...
Oh shit.
Ah! What was that?
It came from that direction.
Could it be the imposter?
It could be anybody, really.
Yes, let's hurry. Hey, did you see that? Did those rocks shake just now?
That was most unfortunate.
What are you guys doing here?
I have to agree. We've been wandering this area for days.
We ran into Pallet earlier. You know, the, kind of a reckless sort of guy. You know
Yeah,
the
the one
one?
that almost killed Sucrose.
Anyway, he said he was unlucky, so I gave him some adventuring survival tips.
After that, he disappeared to rejoin the training camp.
Wait. Are you saying that after all this time you still haven't made it back to the base camp?
Well, as you can see...
It was nothing really. We just hit a few landslides and snowdrifts and took a few downhill tumbles. You know the deal.
They sound like unforgettable life events to me.
Anyway, you're correct. We haven't made it to the base camp yet. We have had extraordinarily poor luck over the last few days. Almost as if a sinister force has been trying to thwart our every move.
Yeah, try being Bennet for a day.
Fortunately, I made advance arrangements for Gerald to remain in a safe location and conduct some basic physical training exercises.
I'm sorry. I'm the one to blame for all this. I've always had bad luck and it always rubs off on everyone around me. Sorry to create so much extra trouble for everyone. I don't know what to say. Maybe this is the awesome power of fate. The scary kind, I mean.
I agree.
Yep, we're just used to it now. Besides, it's not like we have the most amazing luck ourselves.
Really? I think you guys have way better luck than I do.
Well, what can we do about that? Oh, Paimon knows! How about Paimon shares some of her luck with you?
You're welcome to a bit of mine too. Although if the last few days are anything to go by, it seems in pretty short supply at the moment.
You guys. Oh, thanks. With a little luck from everyone combined, we'll make it down this mountain for sure.
Yeah, you bet.
Albedo's just looking at him like,
Let me
bro, I
flip a treasure
traverse this
hoarder
shit daily.
insignia
How are
to
you having
test it
trouble
out.
here?
All right, it's tails. The opposite of what I guessed.
So you can predict your fortune this way? But why are you so happy that you got it wrong?
Because he can guess it. He knows what's gonna happen, so he'll go with the other thing.
It has two sides, so there's a 50-50 chance of me getting it correct. Luck all comes down to probability, too. So as long as I use up all the bad luck, everything else will go smoothly.
Sure, why not?
Guessing wrong when I flip an insignia is one way to use up some of the bad luck. So the probability of having some good luck in the near future just got a little higher.
Sure, why not?
Hey, he's making no sense at all. Why aren't you calling him out?
He isn't you.
Guys, I guessed wrong in my insignia flip, which means we should be able to make it back to camp.
Paimon's not sure that's how it works.
Me neither, but let's go with it.
Let me try. It's this way, right?
Nope.
Oh! Ow! My butt! What is this shard of ice
Whoa!
doing here?
What?
How truly miraculous. This is a miracle of misfortune.
I don't usually believe in luck, but Bennet makes the best case for it I've ever seen. Amber, if you are ever required to partner with Bennet in your future work and you encounter anything like this again, do not take any rash action. Wait for me and I will come to support you.
Huh? Yes, of course. Now that you mention it, I do feel a little tired. Trekking in the mountains has a way of wearing you
Yeah,
out.
it's a fucking mountain.
Well, since everyone is tired, why not take a rest in my camp?
Paimon's so sleepy. A nice bowl of hot soup and a good sleep would sure be welcome right now.
Stop it, you're making me yawn.
Kinda
No!
sleepy too.
Amber will fall asleep in the snow if we keep going much longer. Come on, let's move. We shall head to Albedo's camp and get some rest, take stock of our supplies, and decide how to get off this mountain.
Here we are. Make yourselves comfortable. Oh, I forgot I don't have that many chairs. Please wait a moment.
What's he doing? Painting?
No, he's gonna fucking make chairs appear out
is.
of thin air.
He's painting a chair. Wait, alchemy can turn paintings into objects? How is this possible?
My paintings are like blueprints. Alchemy simply enables me to omit the manufacturing part of the process. It's an elementary level technique. With enough research and experimentation, this same technique can even be used to create living beings.
Whoa. Well, since you can magically produce chairs, can I have one of the backrest?
No problem. How many of you want backrests?
Me!
Me!
I'll also take one with a backrest, if you please.
Can Paimon have a chair that comes with a juicer?
Oh my god, shut the fuck up.
Still beats squeezing onto a stool with you.
Cool, we have chairs now. This is so comfortable. Makes me want to stay the night here.
You're very welcome to stay overnight if you wish. There's still some time before dinner. Get some rest, everyone. I'll tend the stove.
Hey now, we can't be letting you do all the work. I can help. Please, put me to work.
Oh, pace yourself. Dinner could be a while. I still have a few things to prepare.
Wow, that's a lot of questions. Quest 1.
It's almost ready now. Traveler, please light the campfire and gather everyone for dinner.
Out of the frying pan, into the fire.
It's weird how it asks the traveler to do it, but the traveler doesn't have fire ability.
Dinner's ready!
Whatever.
Food's ready, everyone! Come on, let's eat!
I made a few dishes based on some popular Mondstadt recipes. This is no good hunter, but there should be enough to go around. Please, help yourselves.
Wow, smells great. Don't mind if I do.
Wait, don't steal all the fried vegetables. Leave some for me. Hey!
This is just wholesome as hell. Christmas dinner in Albedo's shack.
What a great meal!
Albedo, you're too modest. These dishes are as good as anything you'd find in a top restaurant. Are all alchemists so good at cooking?
You may be onto something there.
Right? Paimon thinks so too. It's his lab manner that gives it away. The kind of guy who holds a potion bottle as steady as a rock isn't the kind of guy who's gonna be slapdash with his salt and pepper.
Actually, that makes a lot of sense.
I'm so sleepy after all that food.
Did Bennet fall asleep sitting up? He must be totally wiped out.
The way he's sleeping is so alert. I'm impressed.
Probably how he has to sleep. Who knows when shit tries to kill him in his sleep. Final destination? Question mark?
He seems to be in a deep sleep. Ooh, Paimon wonders if he's sleep
This is probably some bullshit to where dragon's magic makes him... What?
Oh, no, Dad, no apples for me. I want sticky honey roast and fisherman's toast.
Sticky honey roast. That's your favorite, isn't it, Amber?
Sure is. Give me a sticky honey roast from Good Hunter any day.
Oh, I'll give you a sticky honey roast,
I used
alright.
to take Eula to Good Hunter a lot back when we first met. Before long, Sarah would start cooking our usual orders as soon as she saw us coming. She said we ordered the same thing so often that it was practically muscle memory by that point. She also said that if everyone in Mondstadt ordered like we do, her job would be so much easier. All she'd have to do is memorize everyone's favorites.
always eating together. Aww, it's nice that you two are so close.
It's fucking adorable is what it is.
Paimon always eat together too. It's a sure sign of true friendship.
Two people simply sharing a meal says nothing either way about the relationship between them.
It definitely does, but
That
okay.
depends if it's a one-off meal or a regular occurrence.
He's not wrong.
Aha! Paimon just noticed something. Whenever Eula doesn't want to admit to something, she raises her chin or puts her hands on her hips.
Ah, you've all picked up on that. Didn't know Eula's tells were so easy to spot.
We are done here, yes? I am free to go, am I not? Then please excuse me. I have a frozen lake I need to be at.
Oh, well, shut up.
You're going for an ice bath at this time of night? Wait up! Don't go without me!
I thought you wanted to get some sleep. So maybe you should stay here and rest.
Oh, Eula's angry.
No, I should come with
She's
you.
flustered.
It's late and it's dark, and you're not good with directions like I am.
She's not good with directions?
Come on, let's go together.
Oh, that's great. Oh, look at that. Fucking too hot.
An
It's
ice
too
bath?
hot.
Whew. Rather them than Paimon.
So much roast meat. Oh, hey, Dad. I'm doing all right. I'm the leader of my own adventure team now.
Wow. Bennet really is a sleep talker. Okay, looks like we got some downtime now.
Alright, you two. Time to paint.
That's what I was thinking. This is when they want to, like, do something, right? Let's see. Prepare to be amazed, or time for me to show what I can do. Prepare to be amazed.
Have you decided what to paint?
Like you even need to ask. It's obviously going to be Paimon.
Sure. But we should move elsewhere. We're likely to disturb Bennet's sleep if we stay here, so let's go outside.
Okie dokie. All right, grab your easel, paper, brushes, and paints. Don't leave anything behind.
Let's paint here.
Allow Paimon to adopt an elegant pose for your artistic
Shut the
reference.
fuck up, Paimon. What the fuck is that?
Hey, what's that look for? Cut the attitude and start putting your perfect Paimon down on the page. You better take this seriously, because this is going on Paimon's wall.
Her wall? What wall?
Confidence is a good thing. Those to whom it is endowed do well to flaunt it. I'm looking forward to the finished piece.
This is gonna be interesting. How are they gonna do this? Are we actually gonna, like, paint something? Or is it just gonna be like, click, oh, finished for you?
Alright, let's start with the head. Now, in your mind's eye, what is written on Paimon's face?
Oh, dopey but adorable, for sure.
Huh? Is that how Paimon really looks to you? Okay, forget it. We can come back to that. Let's move on to the body. Come on, paint what you see when you look at Paimon.
The emergency food is getting kinda... That joke is getting kinda old. But like a flying pet? That's rude. I guess emergency food.
Paimon's starting to feel like this is not going to turn out so great. Now Paimon's getting nervous. Let me see.
Oh my god, what the fuck?
What is that? Why Paimon is lost for
That's a
words.
fucking screenshot.
Smooth, and the composition seems professional quality. You had no problems there. So what the heck happened with the face, huh? Explain that stupid expression. Explain.
Oh, this is great.
Smooth, professional quality.
Yup.
And those eyes! Those boring, lifeless eyes!
What do you mean? There's all kinds of life there. She's fucking...
Traveler, have you previously received any education in the fine arts?
No, but it comes from the heart, so you know.
What? You pour your heart on the page and this is what comes out? Special, huh?
Special?
You seriously think special is supposed to look this ugly? Paimon's not convinced. But Paimon is struggling to come up with a comeback.
Fascinating. Paimon, if this is not to your liking, I can make a few amendments. Traveler, what do you think? All right then. Paimon.
Wow.
Is this better?
It's a total ground-up overhaul!
That's a screenshot for sure.
Pretty? Is that really what Paimon looks like?
Adding flourish to the finished piece is an essential component of what makes art... art. This is not to say that you differ from the painting on a fundamental level, rather that the real you and the you in the painting present two different styles of beauty. You remain the core reference point for the painting. So, Paimon, you can put your misgivings aside and hang this painting wherever you like.
Wow! Thanks, Albedo.
Oh, I merely added a flourish here and there. You should be thanking the traveler. In truth, ground up overhaul is more or less an accurate description.
In truth, it is way fucking better.
The more Paimon looks at it, the more she likes it. Great! Paimon has a portrait painting. Paimon's gonna show this off to everyone.
She is enjoying this though. She really is.
It's nothing. I can paint you next time, if you'd like. You can hang it
What
in your home?
We
as
don't have a
souvenir.
home. We straight up
I rarely
travel.
entertain so many guests at my camp. It's lively. A little noisy, even. But I don't dislike it. Liveliness is a rare thing here on Dragonspine.
Ah, it's a new day. Let's go meet up with everyone.
The shadows deepen.
Hey,
I
good
still
morning.
hate that they didn't put Fischl in this. That would have been great.
I slept great last night. How about you guys? All rested up?
Eula in her ice bath.
I'm fine, as usual.
The path down the mountain is easier to follow in the daylight. Let's take this chance to head down to the base camp.
Let's go. If we make good time, maybe we can all get lunch together.
Alright, well we are fucking teleporting there. Oh shit, okay,
I
cinematic.
flipped another insignia just outside the camp. Wrong again.
So your bad luck is all used up. We'll be down the mountain in no time.
Yeah, my thoughts exactly. Today's the day.
Oh, good.
Oh no! Avalanche!
Look out!
Traveler, Paimon, are you all right? Are you hurt?
Paimon's fine.
Oh, that's good. My arm got a little scratched up, but it's nothing serious.
I'm okay, but I don't see the other two. I'm afraid the avalanche may have pushed them off the cliff.
They fell down? They'll be okay though, right?
I think they're both robust enough to survive the fall. But if the falling debris knocked them unconscious, and they're lying there in the freezing cold, we have to get down there and rescue them, immediately.
Okay, let's move.
Hang in there, guys. Bennet!
Bennet, are you okay? Shout if you can hear me! Bennet!
A voice! Over there!
Bennet, is that you?
Guys, I'm over here.
Are you alright? Are you hurt?
Let me check. I'm a little dizzy, but I'm not in any pain. I don't think I'm injured.
Thank goodness. Scared the life out of me.
If you're dizzy, sit and rest for a while.
It's fine, really. This kind of thing happens all the time. I'll be fine. Thank you. Wait, where's Albedo? Isn't he with you guys?
We thought he fell off the cliff with you. He still hasn't shown up?
We found Bennet here, so Albedo can't be far away. Keep searching this area.
Got it. Well, any sign of him?
Not a trace.
Nothing from me either.
Strange. We didn't have any luck either. Where could he have gone?
Everyone!
Oh shit, hell yeah.
Ah, Albedo! Are you...
Nothing serious.
Okay, everyone accounted for.
Guys, I think it's gotta be because of me.
I swear to God,
The
if you have to
avalanche only
apologize for
happened
this,
because I'm
I'm
here.
gonna slap you for apologizing
I
too
guess
much.
flipping a treasure hoarder insignia isn't gonna change my luck after all. No wonder no one wants to go adventuring with me. I'm so sorry.
Don't say that. I'm hardly the lucky type myself, so
Alright,
I'm
so
not
luck.
Exactly.
Bennett,
Besides,
you'll be okay.
Dragonspine
Get
is a
over it.
dangerous place. Avalanches literally come with the territory. Bad luck has nothing to do with it, okay?
No, that was not an accident.
Traveler, what's wrong?
Your face looks... Oh no, did you get hit on the head? Here.
Everyone, the incident is behind us now. We should keep moving.
Why do I feel that Dragonspine has become more dangerous than it used to be? I hope it's just my imagination. Our top priority now is to get off the mountain
What
and
is this
regroup with the
viewpoint?
adventurers.
It's supposed to be from someone
Whatever
watching
further
us?
dangers this mountain has to throw at us, we must face them together.
Agreed. Guys, keep your eyes peeled and watch your step. Careful does it.
I thought it was easy does it, but I guess careful does it works too.
Whew, we've been heading in the right direction for a good length of time now. We must be getting close. I can feel it.
Victory is in sight! Hooray! As soon as we get to base camp, Paimon wants a bowl of hot soup and some barbecued meat.
I hope we can all get there safely. No more incidents, please.
Hey, what's on your mind? You seem a little distracted. Something's up, isn't it? Are you hungry? Cold? Shall Paimon hug your head to warm you up?
Yes?
I don't think
He's
I've
so
spent so
fucking
much
funny
time
to
on
see.
Dragonspine before. It sure is cold, but the view is amazing. Isn't it, Eula? Eula?
Sorry, I wasn't listening. What did you say?
I was just thinking. Whenever I've met up with you at Dragonspine in the past, we always stick to the same few spots. It's much more vast and beautiful here than I realized. If it were a little warmer and a little safer, I bet this place would be bustling with visitors.
I agree. People are put off by the cold and have an aversion to danger. They don't realize that there's much to explore beneath the icy exterior, if you were willing to spend the time and energy. Albedo, is this the way down?
Yes.
I think there are several routes in this area. Does the path fork off here? It looks like it does. But maybe it doesn't. My head's still a little fuzzy from the impact.
I'm kinda dizzy too. I keep thinking things are swaying a little. Maybe I'm just hungry.
Either path will work for us. The smaller trail is less worn and harder to see, but it's also shorter. Since everyone is weary, I suggest we take the shortcut. Follow me.
Wait.
Okay. Everybody turns and looks at Eula at once. It's funny.
Bennet and Amber don't look well. Can we take a break? We can continue once their conditions have improved.
Ugh. Now that you mention it.
Huh?
You hit your head earlier, didn't you?
Oh, you noticed. Are you sure it's worth holding everyone up over a little thing like this?
No problem at all. Health and safety always come first.
Okay, sorry for this. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh no. Look at what's behind Albedo. It's an arena. A big ass circle. You know what that means? Talk to everyone? What the fuck? Oh, okay. Here we go. I was gonna have to go around and...
Drinking some water can help with the dizziness.
But it's all frozen.
Oh, and lying flat on your back helps too.
Not always. Usually standing up is kind of the best, but whatever works. It's kind of
Thank
situation.
you, Bennet. Seems like you really know your stuff.
Well, when life gives you lemons.
Bennet, weren't you feeling dizzy too? Stop pushing yourselves, both of you. Get some rest. We'll continue when you've gathered your energy.
Eula might come off as a little frosty, but she takes caring for her friends super seriously, more than anyone else I know. Every time I see that look on her face, I'm just like, ah, stop staring at me.
Traveler, I know what that look means. What's on your mind?
I got a bad feeling about this.
Maybe seasoned veterans have an instinct for it. I sense it too. Something seems to have changed, but I can't confirm for sure. It could be difficult to verify. It might be imprudent to speculate out loud, but I believe you know what I am referring to.
Wait a minute.
Traveler, I think...
It is the evil Albedo. It was never the real one.
You...
Look out! So, okay, now I'm... Oh, shit! She has her sword. Yo, even Bennet's getting in on this? Yeah, boost this up, Bennet. Where's the real Albedo? That's what I want to know. Is this elevator gonna appear? Oh no, Albedo killed him. Alright. Albedo killed Albedo.
Albedo, what?
It's not over yet.
What? It's a fucking... what?
Brace yourselves. This'll be a challenge.
We're in the same area as it did with the
I'm going
Dragonspine.
to cut this wheat down to size!
A fellflower?
Spicy. Let the show be.
Odds revealed by...
Okay, this is interesting.
Windblade, disappear!
Okay. This is very different.
As you wish.
You're toast!
Okay, so now it's a regular size lava flower. This is different. I need some explanation here. Okay.
What in the world was that thing? One moment it was human, the next it was a plant!
Is everyone alright?
We're fine. But can you please tell us what's going on? I don't understand.
I take it this monster is whom I had the pleasure of meeting last time.
Correct. As you might have guessed, this is a mutated whopper flower. An extremely rare kind.
But can whopper flowers turn into humans?
Not typically, but conditions on Dragonspine are far from typical. Perhaps the dragon's blood seeped into the land, then was passed to the monsters via the ley lines, accelerating their rate of mutation.
How could that happen?
This mountain is home to the remains of Durin, the venomous dragon. If there is anywhere in the world one might expect life to do unfathomable things, it would most likely be here. Durin was an artificially created life form. Its existence is nothing short of a miracle, and proof of countless possibilities. In other words, this mountain we stand on is a cradle of life's profoundest mysteries. A vast and terrifying hotbed of possibilities.
I just wish it was bigger.
The avalanche.
Like, it's a big area, don't get me wrong, but like,
imposter.
if there was like, if it was like four times is a lot. If it was at least like twice the size as the regulars, like instead of it being a mountain, what about a mountain range, you know? Like mountains. Yeah.
Agreed.
They would be getting somewhere.
All the other troubles you faced on the way down could also have been its handiwork.
But it's
My
still a
guess
pretty
is
good
that
size.
it was targeting everyone that I've had contact with.
Yeah, what the fuck? Did this whopper flower steal your notes?
Right, I forgot all about that.
It's not inconceivable.
That's weird that it
But
would.
what was its purpose?
Yeah.
Was it just trying to get rid of us?
I have a preliminary hypothesis on this. Whopper flowers are masters of mimicry, and those we encounter in the wild often appear in the vicinity of the plants they impersonate. In other words, the whopper flower likely has an instinct to replicate and replace. As a plant, it will disguise itself as another plant and infiltrate the group, hiding among them for cover. The plant being imitated has no way to detect or fight back against this behavior. But when it disguises itself as a human,
It wanted to replace you and infiltrate our group?
yes, maybe it created the avalanche to get rid of us. I predicted this eventuality, so I availed myself of the avalanche to hide and lure it out.
Well, that's bullshit.
It was watching us the whole
He
time.
predicted it. Oh,
When
okay.
it saw that I had disappeared, its instinct was to take my place. At that point, its disguise was complete, and its next move was to hunt its prey.
Yes, that's exactly how whopper flowers operate.
So when it approached and attacked Joel, what was that? A trial run?
Perhaps. Or maybe it enjoyed posing as a human, and wanted to experience what it felt like to be human.
We're fortunate to have discovered it in time. I think the Traveler was the first person other than Albedo to notice something was wrong.
Traveler, how could you tell the real me and my imposter apart?
I want to know too. I had no idea the other guy was an imposter. They looked exactly the same to me.
I see. It
Wow,
goes to
I didn't
show
even
how
notice
difficult
that.
it is to impersonate a human. This mutant whopper flower tried its best to replicate the original exactly, but still managed to miss some details.
I didn't even notice the star thing.
Unbelievable. To think that Dragonspine creates such terrifying possibilities.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Anyway, at least we won in the end. It looks like my method did work after all. I used up all the bad luck, and the good luck
Bennet,
finally came
please.
through.
I love you, man, but just shut the fuck up about
that.
luck.
If you're referring to having fallen down the mountain and avoided injury, well, that's because I was secretly protecting you.
Well, that still counts as good luck to me.
Yes, that's not an unreasonable way of looking at it. Okay. We've been delayed long enough. Time to move on.
Yeah, let's go.
What was he looking at? Return to the adventurer camp.
Woohoo! I'm back!
Yeah, we finally fucking made it.
Cyrus doesn't
Finally
seem
back
to
to
be
the
here.
base camp.
He must have headed up the mountain. Let's wait for him here.
Amber, are you feeling better?
Yep, all good now. Nothing to worry about.
I don't know what I'd do without you guys. If not for you, I'd probably still be locked up in that cage. I really want to thank you all properly, but I can't think how at the moment.
Huh? You must be pretty used to being on the receiving end of people's kindness by now, though, surely. You probably need it often enough, given your situation.
Come on, don't put it like that. Sure, plenty of people have shown me kindness before, but that doesn't mean I will ever take it for granted. No matter how many times people help me out in life, I will never forget any of them.
Well, instead of repaying those who helped you, perhaps you could help others yourself. Everyone meets others in need from time to time. By choosing to be there for them, you're passing the kindness you received onto others.
Yep, you're right. That's what I've always tried to do, and will always continue to do.
That's great. That's just fantastic.
Right. And when Cyrus gets back, I'll find some way to help him out too.
This has been quite an eventful day.
Yeah, it has. It's really hit me how tired I am now that I've started to relax.
I need to rest. Everyone, please excuse me for a while.
Yeah, I need to get some water and maybe a piece of fruit. Once I'm rested up, I need to get back to being an instructor again.
I'm surprised they're not like, yo, where's all the fucking instructors at? It's been days since they went missing. But I guess they don't care. It's just, we're kind of in our own world, I guess.
Shall we find somewhere to rest and chat too?
Yes, you need a rest.
Why not? Then please, come with me. You sensed something too, didn't you? Then let's go.
Huh? Are you going back to your camp again? Paimon thought maybe we could talk here.
Nope.
Okay. Might as well come with you.
I mean, you don't have to.
Good.
But
Shall
like,
we set off right
I
away?
don't know who else you're gonna talk to and annoy. Alright. So, everyone's back. Okay, yep, going back to the campsite in the mountains.
Sorry for bringing you back here once again. Some topics are best discussed in private.
Is this about the imposter?
That's right. I have to say, Traveler, I'm very surprised you noticed the difference between me and the imposter. Yes, this mark. Perhaps it's where it all began.
Ooh, sounds like the beginning of a big story. Keep going.
Well, I can't deny that what I'm about to say does sound like something from a children's storybook. So, what do you think this diamond-shaped mark means?
It means you came from the stars.
A tattoo? A crest? Something else?
No. Consider it a birthmark. Have you ever seen an intricate glass ornament and wondered how it was made? Well, one method for crafting with glass is to take
Like I got the Paimon picture in the background. That's pretty funny.
Glass blowing is not a widely known art in Teyvat. For this reason, glassware made in this way is usually very expensive. As the name implies, glass blowing involves blowing air into a hole, much like blowing up a balloon. This type of glassware is known for having a pontal mark at the point where the blowpipe was inserted, where the hole was sealed at the very end. This mark is a sign that the item was crafted by a human hand.
Sounds kind of amazing.
It is a wondrous and beautiful art form. Alice says that these marks are seen as proof of the maker's fine handiwork, the only
Alice
flaw
being
in an otherwise
Clee's mother, I
perfect work of
believe.
art. My mark is something similar to this. The difference between synthetic and natural life lies in the directional flow of the life force. The energy of a natural life form
This
flows
sounds like
out
the
from
synths
within.
and
That's why flower buds bloom and
Real life
grow
argument in
leaves
Fallout
unfold.
4. I don't want to get back into
The
that.
very reason we watch and wonder at blossoming flowers. Creating life artificially, on the other hand, involves, to a certain extent, the introduction of an external source of energy into the embryonic life form. When the hole where the life force was infused is sealed at the end, it leaves a mark not dissimilar to the pontal mark in blown glasswares. The alchemical substance drips and spreads out in all directions, resulting in this rather ingenious diamond shape.
Wow! So that's where it came from.
This mark is a sign of my artificial origins, and proof of my imperfection as a human. I presume that the imposter intentionally avoided replicating this mark, so as not to become less than perfect himself. You are fundamentally different from other people. I have few qualms about sharing my secrets with you. Just as Paimon said, it all sounds like a story. Even if you were to tell anyone else, they would regard it as nothing more than a tall tale. The transcendent and miraculous are not the only things to which human beings aspire. They pursue the everyday, the ordinary, to a far greater extent than I would have ever imagined. People like to believe that those who are thoroughly different from themselves could only ever exist in stories. It makes things much easier. Or, in other words, all of the unfathomable things we've seen recently would make good material for a novel. I have friends who write novels. If they wrote this story, it'd probably be even more complex.
Making up stories is easy. Even Paimon can do that.
Oh, I didn't know you had that kind of talent.
Paimon's the best guide into that. Making up stories is a piece of cake.
In that case, how about we have a storytelling contest? We can base our stories on the events of the last few days.
Sounds great. But we still have to help out the Adventurers Guild.
I understand.
Okay.
Creativity is something that cannot be rushed. Take your time, and come back when you have found some inspiration.
Oh, we will. We'll be
We'll
back.
see whose story is more compelling.
Oh, story writing contest. This,
Okay.
it's
well,
so
we
wild
work
how they
with
do
the
these
Adventurers
events. It
Guild
goes
for
from
now.
super serious to
Sure.
like, oh, kiddie things for building snowmen to back to super serious. Ooh.
My story. Yes, I should have known. Master's failed specimen in the dragon's belly. This is where the story truly begins. If we switched places, if you were the survivor, then as the abandoned experiment, the failure of the primordial human project, I'd want to replace you too. I would replicate your appearance, study your alchemy, and create miraculous life forms to divert your attention. I would wait for the right moment, then dispose of you in the Traveler, the sole person to have known your secret. And then, I could finally experience the joy of being brought into the world.
What? What? Oh. So then, was it the dragon that was impersonating Albedo to... I'm gonna have to look this up. I need a little more explanation there.
Albedo!
Traveler, Paimon. I suppose your story is ready.
It is.
Yep. How about you? Do you need some more time?
No need. I am also ready to tell my story.
Paimon calls dibs. Paimon first!
Paimon calls dibs.
Please, go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, here goes. Once upon a time, there was an evil researcher who went into the mountains and did a crazy experiment on whopper flowers to transform their appearance. After a lot of pain and suffering, the Whopper flowers finally took on a human form. Then they stood by the side of the mountain to wait for unsuspecting bypassers. To whoever spoke to them, they would ask them questions such as, "Who am I? Who are you?" If the bypasser got the wrong answer, the last sound they'd make would be a yelp before the Whopper flower ate them alive in one bite.
Oh, truly frightening.
Yes, Paimon is truly frightening.
What the? You two aren't scared at all! Don't go nitpicking, okay? If you didn't like the story, go write your own!
In other words, the Whopper flowers would ambush and then completely replace their victims.
And then what? Go back to where the person lives?
It's the sense from Fallout 4.
Paimon made up this story, but now Paimon's the one who's scared by it.
It's a good story. Oh, may I write it down? I may bring it up in future conversations.
What for? Just to scare people with?
Yes.
Yes.
You got a real mean streak, Albedo.
Mine is a little longer than yours. It starts
Ooh,
with an
backstory.
alchemist.
Is it
The
gonna...
great alchemist
Ooh,
once created
okay, so it's all
Subject
gonna
1.
be dialogue? Huh.
Subject 1 was her proudest achievement, and successfully blended into human society. No one ever would have thought that this friend of theirs was in fact a synthetic human. However, unbeknownst to Subject 1, the alchemist had tried the same experiment many times before he had come into being. Some of the rejects from failed experiments had been discarded, but had not died.
What the fuck?
Subject 2 was one such failed experiment. He was swallowed by a great dragon that came to rest upon a snow-swept mountain. Many years later, he was resurrected by the dragon's mysterious power.
Oh, okay, so I'm gonna pause it real quick. So we're getting some, alright, so we're getting some information, because I was hella confused about this, because of the earlier cinematic where it showed 2 Albedos, and they're like, oh, we're resting on a mountain, I'd want to do this for you. Alright, so, we got 2 Albedos. This Albedo right here that we're talking to with the star thing on his neck, our Albedo, he's the dude who worked. The dude who didn't work is the guy causing all these problems. Okay, go.
He saw all kinds of people on the mountain, including Subject 1, who had somehow miraculously blended in among them. Never in Subject 2's wildest imagination had he thought it possible for experimental life forms such as they to deceive everyone so successfully. He saw the way humans accepted Subject 1 as a friend, witnessed their affection as they addressed him by name. This was what Subject 2 wanted. Now, all that Subject 2 desired was to replace Subject 1 and take the joy of his existence for himself.
This is giving Paimon the chills. So scary.
Subject 2 began to unfold his plan. He stole Subject 1's books and notes and studied all that Subject 1 had learned from the alchemist. Subject 2 was highly intelligent, and he learned quickly. He changed his face into an exact replica of Subject 1's face. Then, he found a plant with mimicry capabilities and transformed it using dragon blood and alchemy. And so, not only did Subject 2 transform his own appearance to perfectly match that of Subject 1, he also created a third entity, Subject 3.
What? There's 3 of them now?
Oh, there was.
But Subject 2 wanted to become a perfected human. So, he erased a mark on both his and Subject 3's necks. For these marks were symbols of imperfection. In my view, it was probably a subconscious act, an instinct. He so desperately craved to become a perfect human being that he forgot something. Human beings are defined by their flaws. Subject 2's plan was meticulously crafted. Subject 3 would draw Subject 1's attention. After Subject 1 disposed of Subject 3, he would assume the threat had now disappeared and would let his guard down.
Not a bad plan,
The next moment
honestly.
that Subject 1 was alone, Subject 2 would make his move. He would eliminate Subject 1 and become the only one remaining. He would secretly replace the Subject 1 of everyone's memories and inherit his identity, residence,
It's the
clothing,
sense from Fallout
sword,
4.
name, and friends.
Total replacement.
People would have no idea that the individual they knew had become somebody else from one day to the next.
This is way too scary. Paimon's never gonna be able to trust anyone again.
But just before Subject 2 could carry out his plan, a unique stranger entered the mix. Subject 2 tried to make contact with this person, but found that they could somehow sense he was different from Subject 1. What's wrong? Are you scared?
What happened then? What happened to the stranger?
He became a new stage in Subject 2's plan. One more person that Subject 2 had to dispose of. It's as if there were 3 identical roses in a garden. Only one of the 3 was a fine specimen, while the other 2 were defective specimens that bore poisonous thorns. In all the world, only the gardener who tended to them could tell which was the good specimen. People do not like poisonous plants. Only a perfect rose can fetch a high price. If the inferior specimens wanted to conceal the fact of their worthlessness, they would have to take the gardener out of the picture, using their poisonous thorns.
Damn, this is something.
Exactly what Subject 2 was thinking. So,
holy shit.
He hid in the shadows.
I
and
did
waited
ask for an explanation.
patiently. Maybe soon, he would get his chance to become truly human.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's what's happened. Come on.
That was intense. So what happened after that? Did Subject 2's plan succeed? Paimon can't bear thinking about it.
Fortunately, it is just a story. And even in this story, Subject 2 did not succeed. But you can never let your guard down on Dragonspine. Monsters mutated with Durin's power and blood are also creatures of Rhine-Daughter, just like me. You must beware of all such creatures. I'm glad to hear that. It's okay. I know what I am. You and I are both different, so there is no need for me to hide the truth from you. The only thing is that sometimes, when I think about how mighty the power of alchemy is, I feel so small. As beings who set foot in this world, how arrogant are we in desiring to control our destiny and in desiring to create? Is creation an arrogant act, traveler? If not, why do we call the ones that created us and control us gods? If it is, then what qualifies us to call ourselves creators? How far must we take our reverence and respect, and what purpose does it serve?
Damn. Albedo hitting me with some hard philosophy here, my guy. Really making me question shit now.
Nothing special, but
he had to feel
whenever
something.
I think about it, I feel a twinge of grief.
Yep.
Poor Albedo.
Hello? Traveler? Are you here?
Hey, is that Amber?
And
Thought we
Eula.
might find you here.
Yup.
We're
God.
here to
Oh,
deliver a
damn it,
message from
okay.
Cyrus. There's gonna be a big event down at the base camp, and they want you there too, Traveler.
Winter camp is nearing its end. Apparently, even provisional instructors are required to attend.
Looks like we need to go, Albedo. Bye for now.
Then I won't keep you. I have some things to attend to here, so forgive me for not seeing you down.
Don't worry about it. There have been no issues getting up and down the mountain recently.
Is everyone ready? Let's not keep them waiting.
Huh? Who is this guy?
Please tell me that's Joel's dad.
Allow me to introduce Yozerv. He's Joel's
Yes!
father.
Yes! We found Joel's father. Hell yes. That is... Who found him?
Dad, this is that traveler I was telling you about. The travelers helped me out loads in the past, and this time we even built a snowman together.
We did?
Joel has told me everything about you. I can't thank you enough.
See, I haven't done the side quests yet, like the little events for building snowmen and stuff, but sure. We totally did that. Alright, we're gonna go with the reunited one.
Wow, this is amazing!
This is pretty epic.
Second. Why is Cyrus discreetly wiping tears away?
Because
and
it's
what
beautiful?
is Pallid doing here?
Pallid is the hero of the hour this time. Go on, Pallid. Tell us what happened in your own words.
Okay. The weather was fine on that fateful day, and I had a feeling that Lady Luck was smiling down on me. So I trusted my gut and set off to explore somewhere new, somewhere dangerous. Because where there is great danger, there is also great treasure.
Not always true, but okay.
Why does this sound so hard to believe?
Because he's exaggerating.
But I had only been away from the group for a short while when I fell down a slope and just started rolling.
Uh-oh. Did my bad luck rub off on him when we ran into each other on the mountain?
The place I fell to was somewhere I didn't recognize, and I'd sustained a few injuries. I remember thinking to myself, this is the worst luck I've ever had in my whole life. Then I met Yoserv. He'd heard the sound of me falling and came out to see what was going on.
Huh?
Wow, so it was completely by chance then.
I thought he must have been someone from the Adventurers Guild here for the event, but after a few words of conversation, it was clear that he was having memory problems. He didn't even know his own name. The temperature was freezing, and there was no time to deal with all that there and then, so I convinced him to come back to the camp with me and figure everything else out after we got there. We got back to the camp, ran into Joel, and the moment he saw him, he froze for a second with this completely stunned expression on his face, and then he started crying out, "Dad! Dad!" That's when Yoserv suddenly started to remember.
My memory has still not fully recovered, but Joel and his mother, they are the only ones that I will not, no, that I cannot forget.
Daddy.
So is that... Alright.
Daddy's right here, Joel.
Alright, guys, calm down.
Daddy's right here.
So his dad had memory problems, so just didn't know to come back, I guess.
The poor princess? Feeding the foxes?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I have no recollection. Maybe it's because of the head trauma. I'm not sure. I woke up and found myself covered in blood. My things were gone, and there was nothing to indicate who I was or how I got there. I crawled into a cave and settled in for a slow recovery. After my legs and feet were a little better, my hunting skills were what kept me alive.
Dad, I was so worried about you.
And yet you were out building
I'm all right
snowmen,
now,
butcher
Joel.
guy.
Oh, don't cry. Daddy's not going anywhere. I'm here to stay.
Oh, this is good. This is good.
You know what, though? I definitely think my luck got worse after running into Bennet on that mountain.
Oh, fuck you,
I knew
Pallid.
it.
God damn it.
I just...
No. I just meant if it weren't for you, there's no way I ever would have run into Yoserv on a mountain this huge. Besides, we got back safely, didn't we? So don't blame yourself. Maybe sometimes miracles can only happen when you get just unlucky enough.
I mean, yeah.
Pallid. When did you become such a smooth talker, huh?
Huh? Am I? I was just telling the truth.
Oh, yeah. I want to say thank you to the Traveler, Uncle Cyrus, Auntie Eula, and Auntie Amber. Thanks, everyone. You all helped look after me, and I will always remember it. But I guess I can't take the snowman with me, or it'll melt once it leaves Dragonspine. It's such a shame.
Alright, Albedo, use your alchemy.
Oh, I can help with that. One moment.
Wait a minute, you looking... Oh, she is cryo. Duh.
Eula?
Here, take this. It's powdered rime. Just add it to your snowman, and it will never melt.
What?
missed, Auntie Eula! Dad, I have an unmeltable snowman now! How cool is that?
How can I ever repay you all? Thank you all. Thank you from the
Eula's
bottom
ass.
of my heart.
Amber's ass.
Dad, I want to go move the snowman. Can we do it now,
It didn't have to be
please?
that camera angle. It could have been, I don't know, their faces.
I'll be
but
leaving
sure.
with Joel now. I'm sure I'll see you all another day.
Okay.
Very well, very well.
I can no longer bitch about.
Paladin,
I guess I can a little bit, but I'm not going to. About them not finding Joel's
breaches
father.
of adventurer discipline.
So.
Huh? But Cyrus, I think I kind of made up for my mistakes this time, you know?
I'd say he did.
See you guys.
Oh, I made this for you and Amber. Think of it as a winter souvenir.
What is it?
Aw, are you sure? This must be really important to you.
Come on now, just take it. No need to make such a fuss.
Wow. Now our snowman won't melt either.
Oh.
Great.
You're welcome. Just keep it. That's all I ask. Amber and I have some business to attend to now. See you later.
Huh. And just like that, the event's
Everyone's
over.
gone. Seems like they've
Should we
all
go
got
talk to
their own
Albedo now?
stuff to do now. Oh, you know what? We've been on Dragonspine all this time, and somehow Paimon still forgot to ask Albedo about how to make a fruit juicifier machine that can keep the juice fresh.
Stupid.
Maybe we should try Timaeus again. He does seem pretty eager to please after all.
Well, we're gonna go talk to Timaeus.
Timaeus!
Traveler and Paimon, what can I do for you? Wait a minute.
Wait
You've got
a
that
minute.
mischievous look on your face. Oh,
What the fuck do you
you're
want
not still
from me?
thinking about that ridiculous juicer thing, are you?
Timaeus, will you help us?
There's no us.
Well, if the Traveler isn't really interested, then, yeah, maybe I'll give this one a pass. It's just the weirdest request
Damn.
ever.
Way to hurt Paimon like that.
Paimon's Sunsetias are gonna go to waste without it.
Just eat your fucking fruit, you
And the time it
child.
would take me to research something like that, I could probably pick those Sunsetias again 10 times over.
Yeah, you probably
New
could,
research
honestly.
project, Timaeus? We meet again.
We do meet again.
Oh, Albedo, thank goodness. So the situation is, Paimon wants a machine that can turn fruit into juice and keep the juice fresh. I mean, surely it's...
I got one right here.
Majorly important, that's what it is.
Surely it's majorly important.
To invent this, we'll never have to worry about fruit going bad ever again.
That's impossible.
He has one. He's gonna pull it out of his ass. Oh no. Huh.
Turning fruit into juice is not hard.
But it just...
But keeping it fresh
It just
is more
showed him with
difficult.
it, though.
But if you simply want to keep the fruit from rotting, there are many ways to achieve this. Right, Traveler?
Yeah. What the fuck? God damn it! I knew this was gonna fucking happen. Taking it off and taking it on. So we can't... God damn it. Is he fucking with us?
What about his neck?
He better not be fucking with
What's
us.
wrong? Is there something on my neck?
Yeah.
From the look on your face, it's as if you thought I just played a practical joke on you that was in exceedingly poor taste.
Yeah. You did. That's not cool, bro. I almost had to fuck you
You
up.
were saying, how do you stop fruit from going bad?
Well, one way would be to bury your fruit on Dragonspine, where the snow never melts all year round.
But then Paimon won't be able to eat them.
You could always live on Dragonspine.
No, too cold for Paimon.
Or you can give the fruit to me, and I would take it to Dragonspine for you. But since you don't like the cold, you'd have to send someone else to pick them up when you want them. This is where you come in, traveler.
Suddenly sounds a lot more feasible with other people doing all the work.
God damn it, Paimon.
Okay then, shall we go with that idea?
Fruit buried on Dragonspine will stay fresh for much longer. However, it is also possible that the fruit will sprout and grow into fruit trees. Who knows? Maybe the next time you visit, it will have grown into an orchard. You can water the trees, add fertilizer, and when they finally bear fruit, you will have some fresh sunsettias.
No way! Then Paimon will have to be a gardener. That's not the goal here.
Oh? Well, I don't think being a gardener is so bad.
Yeah, he's fucking referencing his story. That sly dog.
Albedo! Stop trying to get your hands on Paimon's super sweet Sensitias!
It bothers you, does it?
Of course it bothers Paimon! They are the rarest, super duper sweetest Sensitias ever! And they're not for you!
Okay, but they're just Sensitias. I think you're only so attached to them because you don't have much fruit of this quality in your possession. When someone's pockets are full and their spirit is fulfilled, they don't easily fall prey to this kind of yearning.
Really?
Wait, what? Okay.
Ancient Albedo, he truly is massive.
Dragonspine is too cold for ordinary fruit trees to survive. But if, one day, Dragonspine did become home to gardens and orchards, there would be more reasons for people to visit. Perhaps a little life is the key to attracting people.
I think that's what
life may exist in all kinds of unfathomable forms, and in all manner of unthinkable environments. Mysterious, yet tenacious. Perhaps this is what makes life so special.
He's right. He can take it off? Okay. So now I'm concerned, but I just kind of have to hope that we got the good Albedo with us. Let's check the characters real quick. Alright, Albedo. Let's see here. Fuck, I can't quite tell, but I think there's something there. Move your arm. Yeah, there is definitely something there, maybe. Yeah, okay, it's there. Alright, so do we even have any missions, or are we done? We're done, okay. So now it's just straight fucking around. So we gotta beat the boss a couple times. Do the little mini games, and then build a fucking snowman.